Bring in retired Brigadier General Sean Harris. Sean also running for Georgia's 14th Congressional District. Sean, thank you so much for being here. Let's start with this. I always think about the families. 3 U.S. troops now killed in action, 1 still missing, and the military found unidentified remains at the attack site. This was in Jordan. For you, what worries you most, right, about where this war could go next?
Well, Xavier, first, it's good to be with you. But before we even get started, I just want to send my condolences to the 17 families because, you know, the 3 that just was identified today, they're still going through the process to let the family members know exactly who that is. But before we actually get started, I just want to send my condolences to the families because war is not easy. And this one is starting to heat up.
Yeah, Sean, I really appreciate you doing that. A lot of times we forget about the families that are here while they're over there, protecting our country, fighting for this nation. So, Sean, thank you for doing that. Looking ahead, where do we go next here as a country in this war with Iran?
Yeah, I would tell you right now, the war is heating up very quickly. It's intensifying. And part of the reason of that is because we're in the process here in the last few days of getting some of our great Americans killed. And with that being said, I believe the president is going to give CENTCOM directions to heat it up even more. And like you said earlier in your program, hitting some nuclear plants. But on top of that, I know CENTCOM has been hitting for the last several nights bridges. But these bridges are bridges that actually bring supplies back to the particular location so that Iran cannot resupply all of their troops out in the different parts of the coastal area.
Is any of this surprising you with how we've kind of taken a step back now, 8th night in a row, potentially 9 if we continue on with strikes tonight? Is any of this surprising you, Sean?
No, not at all. The reality of it is the MOU that we signed, it was very, very generic. And because it was so generic, I think the United States started to say one thing, the Iranians started to say one thing, and it's very clear that when it came to the Strait of Hormuz, nobody clearly understood what the piece of paper was saying, and because of that, that's where we're actually at today. What I don't see happening as of right now, because things are intensifying, I'm not sure if we're still talking behind closed doors. I think we're going to have a few more days of this intense fighting, and hopefully we can get back to the table and let democracy start working again.
You took me right to my next question. Some experts believe the security of the Strait of Hormuz, at this point, we've gone so far back, it's back to a worst-case scenario for oil tankers becoming this sort of like hour-by-hour gamble, if you will, of what could happen. The president even saying now the U.S. is now the guardian of the Strait. What's, in your mind, what's the end goal here when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz?
You know, the end goal is to keep it open. But to actually keep it open, right now we've got a situation where we got a blockade, Iran has a blockade. So that simply means just a very few ships are going through, and the ships that are going through at any given time can be attacked. And with that being said, you know, these ships that are going through are not military ships, they're commercial ships. So I don't see the commercial community saying, I trust this. So that's going to make things slow down, which in turn going to make fuel costs, fertilizer and everything else continue to go up.
Now, you already mentioned you think there's going to be some more intense fighting, things are going to be heating up. What do you think needs to be, boots on the ground? Do you think that is going to happen in order for this to essentially end the war? What do you think needs to be done for that to happen?
Well, I tell you, just because it's intensifying right now, I still don't think we're at the point of putting boots on the ground. Because when the president decides to put boots on the ground, that is at that moment, we will win this war, but that will have a lot of people getting hurt, injured, and killed. So I don't think we're at that particular point, but at some point here in the next month, 2 months, we will have to make some other decisions because right now it seems like we're getting very close to a stalemate with tit for tat. But again, hopefully cooler heads will prevail and we can get back to the table and sit down and negotiate this piece, this particular situation that we have out.
Sean, you just said a couple of months. There's been a lot of talk about and concern that this is potentially the next forever war. Is that how you're seeing this playing out? What's your expertise telling you when you're watching the chess pieces move here?
Yeah, what I see is this. The reality of it, we're going to have a tit for tat back and forth. But I also think the Iranians have figured out the Strait of Hormuz for them is their center of gravity. And on top of that, they know that we have a midterm election coming up in November. So I don't see the Iranians doing anything to before the midterms. That is not good for us, but on the flip side of the coin, that is the situation that we're in. The Iranians are not an easy pushover target, and I believe as we move forward, that's taken us a little bit into the political world, but from the military side of the house, like I said several months ago, the military can easily win this operation that we're in or this war that we're in. However, it's going to be very tough for us politically because we have an election coming up here in November.
All right, Sean, retired Brigadier General Sean Harris, thank you so much, especially for what you said at the very beginning, for the condolences for the families that made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you, Sean. We appreciate it.
Thank you.